If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for? Appreciate the galaxy. Thank you.
So I'd say Trump, and
Okay.
there's a pretty
Why do you
big
support Trump?
reason. So honestly, like Kamala Harris's VP was
Kamala.
all right until she opened up the border, and I completely understand like why we have a process and everything else, and like background checks and everything else, because my family had to go through it and all that to get papers to come here.
Can you define what an
I
open
did
border is?
letting people just come through
Okay. So
without a
letting people
background
co-
check or anything like that.
Okay, so they did have background checks under the Biden-Harris administration. They did deport people. They did have a process. The idea that they did not have a process is ridiculous.
Okay. How did 6 million people just flood in here
Because there were
versus
so
when you
many
look
people
back?
coming to our country undocumented because of economic insecurity that exists around the world.
Okay, I understand that, but what was the numbers before that?
For what?
Before their presidency.
Okay. So 100. Wait, sorry. Repeat what you just said.
So I was asking, like, obviously during those 4 years, 6 million people came in, right?
hmm
What was
Like,
that before
how many happened
the?
under the? I don't know the nominal level that happened under the Trump administration before. I
Okay,
apologize.
I'll educate you.
Go ahead.
Approximately about 250,000 people, and
Not under the entire
unfortunately,
administration. That's not true.
that isn't true. Go look it up.
You want to provide a
It's
source for that?
statistics. Yeah, Google, CNN.
That's a no. What's the title of the CNN article?
The Trump and just the Trump administration from 2016. You could just look it up; it'll tell you.
Trump administration 2016. He wasn't in office. So can you tell me what the title is?
No, I just
Okay,
seen it
I'll give you
online.
time. I'll give you time to go look it up. And I've seen it online that you're wrong. So
All right,
give it a second, everyone, for him to find his information.
it was 2 million.
What'd you say?
It was 2 million.
Under Trump?
Yes.
So if there were 7 million under Biden and 10 million under Trump, then you said there was more under Trump?
No. So I saw the border crisis because, unfortunately enough, I serve in a uniform, and I actually been out to the border, and what I saw out there was actually really ridiculous. There was
Okay.
legitimate holes in fences that we had to patch up whenever Trump first took office. We had orders last minute there to take control of the border situation, and people were just still walking through like nothing was happening. Like it was ridiculous. Like Border Patrol wasn't even doing their job. It was that sad being there.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
So you said Border Patrol was not doing their job under the Biden Harris
Correct.
administration?
Correct.
So the employees just stopped working.
As in not caring because they had orders.
That's just not true. Okay. Now again, they deported
That
people
is
under
true. They don't report that in the news though.
yes, they did. Do you think there were zero deportations under Biden?
Not necessarily.
So there
And
were
going back to
deportations
what
under
you
Biden,
just
correct?
said, stuff like that, they don't put it on the news or they don't tell anybody. It's classified for a reason. It's not classified no
So they
more.
weren't enforcing the border, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So
As far as
that
what we
means
got
that
from my
that
commanding
means
officer.
so that means that people in border patrol were doing nothing.
You also can see videos online too about people just
Can you answer
waltzing
the
through.
question? Are you saying border patrol was doing nothing under the Biden Harris
Absolutely
administration?
nothing.
So obviously you're wrong.
I'm being serious with you,
No,
bro.
wait, do you want
Like
to bet?
I was there.
Do you want to bet?
I do want to bet.
How much? You said border patrol was doing absolutely nothing under the Biden Harris administration. I disagree with you on that point. How much do you want to bet?
I'll bet the debate right now. If you
No,
prove
how
me wrong,
much?
you win. I ain't betting money online. This ain't
Because you know
gambling.
you're wrong, buddy.
No, I'm not. I got bills to pay, bro.
Okay, fair, but like understand that you're wrong, right? You bet the debate. Okay, well then you've lost.
All right, show me a source.
That says that border patrol was enforcing things. All I have to do is show you a source that there were deportations under Biden, right?
Obviously, if somebody gets pulled over, oh, you don't have a visa? nor paperwork that you live here. Boom. And guess what they do?
Wait, you said
2
you
weeks
accepted
later,
you said you
walk right
accepted
back over
CNN,
again.
right?
Yep.
Okay, well, here's a title from CNN saying Biden carried out the highest level of deportation since 2014, a new report says.
That's a honkin' donkey shit. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's a hot
Wait,
donkey
you just said
shit.
that you accepted CNN, dude.
Where was that article at? Because I promise you, I looked it up to like the actual statistics, and I looked it up on Safari.
I can also give you a BBC. U.S. deportations under Biden surpassed Trump's 2019 record. NPR, why deportations hit a 10-year high in 2024. So Border Patrol was doing nothing, yet they were deporting more people than Trump under his first term.
That's honestly hard to believe.
I
I
understand because you believe in feelings rather than facts.
no,
Okay, well, if you believe facts over feelings, then you believe what I just said.
no, that's not entirely it. Do you understand like how many news, like, just for case, like
Oh, it's all
how
fake news. It's all fake news. Whenever I see something that I disagree with, I just say, fake news, fake news. I don't accept it, fake news. I don't actually
do
accept
you
anything
actually believe in
from the
fake
fake
news,
news
like
media.
legitimately?
What's up?
Do you believe in fake news?
Do I believe in fake news? What is fake news?
Fake news, as in like tampering with stuff and
Do I,
not actually like postponing the truth.
yeah, Donald Trump does it all the time.
He does it all the time, eh?
Yeah.
So, if anybody in this chat or like anybody that you knew that served in uniform, I know quite a bit of the game. I've actually been to the Pentagon and back a couple of times,
You want a
and
cookie?
I have seen some things. I actually do. I
Okay.
actually had to work really hard to get to that point. But anyways, fake news is out there, and I'm a strong believer in them. Whenever election came around, when our voting officers was giving us out our little votes, it persuaded my decision that what's going to be better for the kids and what's going to be better for the future of the next 4 years, because it's either going to be Kamala Harris is going to be my department chief, or it was going to be Donald Trump. And I thought, I strongly hated the pull out of Afghanistan. I knew the girl that was there, Sergeant G.
Trump set
I
that
knew
up.
who she was. He didn't. So you're telling
Yes, he
me he
did.
set it
He
up and then
set he
and
set up the
then
yes, he set up the agreement with the Taliban for the United States to pull out.
he wasn't in office though.
Okay. So then why did he give it over to Biden to do that? One. Two, why did he never specifically outline a plan for them to leave?
Maybe
So it had
because
to be set
Trump
up by
wasn't done
Biden.
with that plan yet.
What? They signed an
That
agreement
plan was
with
so
the Tal.
rushed.
Wait, they signed an
That
agree.
was honest.
Wait, you said it was rushed. Do you know that Biden signed an agreement to extend it to give them more time to leave? So if it was
Then why did it
rushed,
never got
that means it
approved?
was rushed to a lesser extent because of Biden.
All right, so you're telling me that ex-president Biden
Signed an agreement
just
to extend how long we had in Afghanistan before we pulled out to give us more time to pull out. Yes. Biden or Trump's original agreement was to pull out at an earlier date. So we would have been rushed to a greater extent if Biden did not do so. That's a fact.
actually on his second term, if he would have won that term, which he thought he was going to win, but
He lost, right?
unfortunately didn't. Yes,
Oh,
he did.
yeah. He
He
thinks
did
that he
lose.
won still to this day.
What do you think that?
I think that's ridiculous. He thinks he won. That's absurd.
So, all right, anyways, back to the topic on that. Anyways, so the border crisis, we went over that.
The
The
border
pullout with
crisis.
Afghanistan crisis.
Crisis.
Sorry,
Sorry,
my phone speaker
apologize.
is not the best. I dropped it in
No,
water.
that
And
I
it's
think
been trashed.
that was probably me, just mishearing you. They sound similar.
Okay. So going back to the Afghanistan pullout, would you say that was embarrassing?
I would say that like Trump's pullout setup would indicate that there probably wouldn't have been much of a difference in what happened, right? Like
What makes you think?
if anything, we had a greater ability to pull out when Biden decided to do so because we had more time. But yeah, I do think it's horrible what happened. I do think that, obviously we don't want service members to, that's obviously atrocious and horrible. And I do think that, I don't think that like Trump would have stopped that from happening. And I think the idea that Trump would have stopped that is a bit absurd.
It is, and it was honestly very sad. There could have been a lot better ways to pull out of there. I personally never been there because of my time of my service there. We were just starting the pullout, and I wasn't there, but I actually knew the sergeant who went there. She was the one who checked me in, and God bless her soul, Tilvala. I love you, Sergeant. I hope you're doing good out there. But anyways, um, yeah, she was kind of the one who checked me in and got me settled in with my unit. So um, that it was pretty bad. I feel like um,
Wait, did you take an oath to defend the Constitution?
I did.
You did? So, would you ever support a candidate that called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution?
Are you talking about the video that the senators tried posting about
No, I'm not
disobeying
talking
direct
about.
orders?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, would you ever support a candidate for president that called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution?
Define that. Like, what topic was that on?
No, I'm not saying anything in specific. Could you just say, like, would you ever support a candidate that called for that? The termination of every single rule, regulation, and article, even those found in the Constitution?
In the UCMJ 2 TAC 416 Alpha states that we can disobey a direct order if it was unlawful, then yes.
Wait, I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm asking, would you support a candidate that called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution?
No, I would not.
Okay, so did you know that Donald Trump did call for that on Truth Social? He called for the explicitly. This is verbatim what he said: the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. That's exactly
All
what he
right.
said verbatim.
All right, what was it about, though? That's what I'm
He
curious
thought the
about.
2020 election was stolen.
Okay, so about that, some Tweety birds that I know are pretty high up there. There was legitimate, like, people who were dead for like a year or two was found in that vote. I don't
Okay.
know.
So
I'm being
one,
honest
I
with
don't
you,
I don't
bro.
see any evidence of that. Two, right? Would you like to provide any evidence that that was enough to overturn the results of the election? Because say that there were two dead people that voted, okay? That doesn't mean that that would have changed the results of the election, right?
Oh no, it was multiple.
Multiple. So again, multiple people don't change the results of election. 10,000 people, 20,000 people, 30,000 people could, right? But you can't just say a few people who were voted and that means that, Trump would have won because, if these people didn't vote. One, you don't know the affiliation of the people that
Oh,
voted. Two,
so
you
this
don't even
whole
know that the
topic
dead
is
people
about
did
January
vote. Three,
6th,
you would have
correct?
to see that it's enough specifically to change the amount of change the election results.
Okay, so are we talking about January 6th?
We can. We weren't originally, but we can.
No, I thought this was what this whole conversation about was the election and then what happened on January 6th. I thought that was what it was leading up to.
No, no. The claim for termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, happened in 2022, but it was about the election in 2020 because he still thought it was rigged.
Yeah. Honestly, I never really paid no much mind to that. I mean, there's many things in life that can get, screwed up, misinformation, It's in the books too.
No, but he said this
But
on Truth Social. You can look at his public Truth Social account, and you can see that he said that. And you said you wouldn't support him if he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, because that would literally violate your oath to the Constitution. But yet you do still support Donald Trump, even though he did call for that. Let alone the fact that he violates multiple constitutionally protected rights and called for the Democrats that said don't follow unlawful orders, which is what you just said you should do.
yeah, but another thing that it doesn't really ring a bell. If that was the case, then why is he president right now? Like, why didn't like the Senate or anything like that, come together and be like, nah, this guy is like, crazy because he has the most powerful military in the world,
Because his
you know.
stranglehold over the Republican Party, ideologically speaking. Okay? That's why.
Honestly, I don't even feel like most Republicans would even want to even have that because
Well, that's what
that
they
can
did.
end
They
a
did. Most
civilization.
Republicans support Trump still.
All right, you put up a good argument with that. Um, I've seen facts in person and, talked with some people. But you put up a good argument with that.
Here's my point. I think that we all want conditions to be better at the border. We might have different
Oh
ways of
yeah,
getting there,
100%.
sure, but I think my way makes sense. Again, I think a pathway to citizenship that for those that have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes, right, where they don't have to leave the country, would be the best system possible. One,
Oh
because
yeah,
it
hundred
ensures the
percent.
most amount of people are vetted. Two, because it ensures that more people go through the legal immigration process, incentivizing people to go through the legal immigration process rather than coming to our country undocumented. Three, because it will allow for law enforcement that are dealing with the border to focus on and those that are committing violent, horrible crimes, right? Rather than those that are not a threat to our community, that are literally just trying to help and benefit our communities and their families, right? So, like, that's what I think. And I think that right now our process has it so over 70% of people that are detained by ICE have literally no prior criminal record. And if, since, again, they're spending most of their time doing that, again, deporting people without due process, I think that's bad and it's making our country less safe and secure rather than more safe and secure.
Yeah, I honestly 100% agree on that, and I hope that that gets redone into, the right way. I have to ask a genuine question. I went to ask this to Dean when I was on there. Do you think JD Vance would be a good president if he went up for 2028?
No.
Why do you think
One,
so?
because he's bought into the MAGA cult. Two, because he supports very destructive policy, and we can go through the destructive policies in of itself. But mainly for me, it's because of his involvement with MAGA and Trump, and him explicitly saying that he. Oh, I have to kick you because of
Oh
misinformation.
no.
Apparently, I don't remember what misinformation he engaged in, but yeah, I wouldn't support Vance. Um, yeah, and I mean, I think I gave you a few reasons, but like that's in general. Like, yeah, I think he's a horrible person for saying that he would have certified the false slates of electors under the Trump administration in his first term, right? Literally to undermine the 2020 election results. So I think that's a huge thing that people cannot overlook because that's literally them trying to rig the election results.